here. I'm glad you're here. I'm here to talk about what to look for at an ITIL training delivery. So, Poltork & Associates, we've been in business since 2001. We've done and continue to do ITIL training worldwide in over 60 countries. And so we've learned a thing or two along the way I'd like to pass along to you. So when you're looking for somebody to deliver instruction, the number one thing is that you can get people to pass the exams, right? So you've got people in the classrooms. One of the reasons to get them in there is that they can get certified on the content. It's optional for certain deliveries, but it is proof in the pudding with regard to the efficacy of the training. So you want them to pass the exams. They should be better than industry average pass rates. Secondly, you want to have good eval scores, good course evaluation scores for your instructors, 4s out of 5s, at least out of 5, indicating that students like what they saw, like what they heard, like the experience. Also, when you engage your firm to do ITIL training delivery, it's important that they're easy to work with on training administration from end to end. All logistical stuff. It seems like it's just details, but it's a lot. You don't want to be randomized by a firm that ask you for different things one piece at a time. They should be clear from the way they engage you that they know all the different logistical elements that are required to make sure things go on without a hitch, and are good in getting that to you in one fell swoop as opposed to one piece at a time or missing things, right? So they should have a nice tight end-to-end process up front, and also just follow up after the delivery as well. You get the exams on time, the results. You get a nice package that includes the course evals, any analysis or any follow-up that's required. It's all nice and tightly managed and delivered. Full coverage is important. We work with multinationals. They need to have different people in different places. Native speakers locally is important for many of our clients. So you want to make sure that you can cover everybody. And the product line should be full as well. The provider should be able to accompany you on your journey end to end, right? They shouldn't just stop at foundation. They should have a full range and other offerings to make sure that they can take you all along the way that you need to go. So you don't have to be fragmented in how you get these things delivered. Also in product line, it's important they have different modalities. So for example, you may have some people in the traditional classroom that need hard copy courseware or digital, some people that are remote that can't join but still want to learn at the same time with their teams, so self-directed learning through e-learning or CBTs may be in order. All that. Also just, besides traditional classroom learning, the self-directed learning, CBTs, digital courseware, etc., and virtual instructor-led online synchronous training. Those are important to have at full coverage, both in terms of delivery capability, geography, and product line. Also, an aspect of full coverage is that the trainers are also consultants. So if there's a couple of benefits to that, not the least of which it makes for much more engaging training, but also if you need to go further after the training, they can advise you on that and even help you with that. It's just, as driven by you. Training connected to the context, that's a big one for us. Very important. It's something that's often overlooked in all sorts of training in corporate settings. And that really means this. When there's a setup, there's a reason people are going to be sitting in classrooms or taking this training. What is that reason? Do we know what it is? We know that there's canned objectives for this training, but what are the objectives of the attendees? Is there any event driving things? Do they have initiative? Is there particular problem areas? Knowing that up front, asking those questions up front, getting that context, and then injecting it into the training setting is so important. It so enriches the thing. It helps you zero in as an instructor on what's important and block out what's not. And then after the fact, carrying forward what was learned, what was seen, what was heard to the training sponsor, that's critical as well. So that you have continuity from beginning to delivery to end to understand the context, to bring the context forward into the training setting, and then drive it forward in terms of ideas, thoughts, what was seen, what was heard, what ideas and facts after the fact with the sponsor. One of the key things is that the courseware itself that the trainer uses isn't terrible. It should be high quality, it should be accredited, obviously, and it should be cost effective. The quality and value should be there, right? And then importantly, the last two things that I'll cover here is the flexible options. You want a la carte packages. You may not know up front how many people need to be trained in what kind of settings with what kind of modalities. So having a vendor who will work with you on that and and allow you to have flexibility in what you do, how much you use, etc. is very important. And then similarly, as I said, it's important that the vendor have multiple modalities. Modalities are things like e-learning versus self-directed CBTs versus virtual instructor-led training, traditional classroom, hard copy courseware, digital courseware. All those sorts of modality options are important too, because you've got different learners with different styles in different places, etc., etc. And then lastly, attractive terms. This can be a gotcha with certain training providers. You want to make sure you check this stuff out. What does this stuff cost, including cost to ship, including license terms? It's not a cost per se, but you may be buying and you're thinking, well, people can use these perpetually, and they find out, well, there's a 90-day on this CBT or whatever. So you want to make sure that you understand those terms and you know what you're buying, so you can calculate value for money and compare to other options. So we think we stack up very well on all of these criteria. I hope you find this list useful. If you want more information on our ITIL training delivery capability or any of the other courses we do, I mean, we do all sorts of things. We're really into frameworks training, TOGAF, COBIT, PMP, Prince2, Lean IT, Agile Scrum, etc. If you have needs in those areas, we're super happy to help you out there with either courseware or training delivery. You can visit Poltoric.com. You can give us a call at 206-729-1107 or reach out to us on email at info@poltoric.com. Thanks a bunch.